Good evening, everyone. Please. I'd like to start this special meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Councilwoman Bevins, you want to lead us in the pledge? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And at this moment, if everyone could just remain standing for 1 second while we have a moment of silence for the brave police officer, Amy Caprio, who gave her life in the line of duty, basically protecting us. So if you don't mind, let's just have a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. I'd like to also extend my sincere, heartfelt condolences to the family, and we here on the County Council will certainly keep her, her colleagues, and her family in our prayers. Councilman Marks?
Thank you very much. On behalf of so many in the Perry Hall community, I want to thank our law enforcement officials for their swift response yesterday, and our educators who sheltered nearly 2,000 students at our local schools. Our prayers are with Officer Caprio's family. We stand united in our grief and our desire to bring those who committed this crime to justice. Thank you.
Thank you. Be seated, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this public hearing of the Baltimore County Council will now come to order. The council is holding this public hearing in order to accept testimony from county residents on the desired qualifications of the person whom this council will elect to serve as county executive for the remainder of the current term of office. Please keep in mind that this is the only subject of tonight's hearing. This is not a candidate forum. We will not accept negative comments about a current office holder or candidate, or for that matter, any person. We invite your thoughts about the qualifications for interim county executive. We hope everyone will be respectful of this process and the views that will be expressed. Also, please keep in perspective the tragic circumstances that bring us here tonight. I'll now read the rules for this procedure, or the procedures for this public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak should have registered already with the secretary in the hallway. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Please note that there is a clock over there that will display the remaining time as you speak. When the clock reaches 0, you can conclude your sentence, not your paragraph, not your page, not your thoughts, your sentence, or else I will be forced to do something I don't want to do, which is to bang the gavel and ask you to please stop. So the purpose of the time limitation is to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to address us tonight. When the speaker is called, the name of the next speaker will also be called, so that the next speaker will come forward and be seated to the seats directly in front of me. So hopefully everyone understands, and hopefully we will be respectful of each and every one here. And I just want to thank everybody for coming.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Councilwoman Alm.
I have a statement I'd like to read, please.
You may.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I spent this morning at the FOP Lodge with my grieving police family. The loss of Officer Caprio is tragic and profound. Our county has suffered in the last couple of weeks greatly. Honestly, this is a council meeting we all wish was not taking place. I know I speak for all of us when I say that our prayers are with Jill Dylan and Carson, and the entire Kamenetz family, both personal and professional. It's an extraordinary time for Baltimore County, and a humbling time that forces us to stop and think about our values and what truly matters. I spent the last year traveling around the county, learning about communities and neighborhoods from Dundalk to Randallstown, Catonsville to Pikesville. I've met outstanding community and business leaders, and I've learned so much. This time, this experience and these relationships have been an incredible opportunity and a gift. As an activist and a councilperson, I've always fought for and cared deeply about the people I serve. Together, we've led the charge to feed Baltimore County's impoverished children. We've helped to establish our school resource officer program, and we voted to invest $1.3 billion in our schools, and every vote has been an honor. Kevin Kamenetz believed in fair and vigorous campaigns, and so do I. Kevin's successor should not be chosen as part of a political coronation by council colleagues. This was not who Kevin was, and it's not who I am. Choosing a person to serve as a caretaker for the remaining months of County Executive Kamenetz's term should not be tainted by politics of a pending campaign. That is why, despite having the support of my Democratic colleagues for this appointment, I'm taking my name out of consideration to be selected by the council to serve as county executive for the next few months. We all want what's best for Baltimore County, and while I'm honored to have the endorsement and the support of my Democratic colleagues on the county council, I believe the county executive should be chosen after a strong campaign and by the people. And quite frankly, I'm confident in my ability to win this election fair and square. I love this county, I love this council, and I am going to do the best job I can to win this election. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Norman. Councilwoman Bevan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is why I so much appreciate you, Councilwoman Almond, and your truth and your moral compass. You had my support no matter what your decision. I believe that, you've made the right decision for the county, and I will continue to support you, and thank you so much for your comments. I'm sure everyone really appreciates them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Quirk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to state that we all talked to Vicki. She definitely had 4 votes. She could be county executive fairly soon. And she just outright declined. And she kept saying she did not want this to be a coronation, that she was confident that she could win this primary and general election on her own accord. And she said this is what the people should really decide. So I want everybody to know that. And she also said, too, that wouldn't it be nice if we could have a person in this role that could get 7-0? This is not time for division and acrimony. I mean, we just had a police officer die. We just had our county executive die. I think this is time for healing and unity. So I do give great credit to Vicki for leading on this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Quirk. I like to basically just, copy, edit, paste the comments of my colleagues. It's no doubt about it that Councilwoman Almond certainly had the support of each and every Democrat here, and I just praise her decision to put the best interests of the people at heart and decide that, it takes a big person to say that they're going to win fair and square, and they did not want any leg up or anyone to somehow think that they were getting an advantage. So we certainly appreciate your leadership, appreciate your comments, and I guess think it's very big of you to do it. On that note,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I would like to applaud Mrs. Almond's decision. These are extraordinary times in Baltimore County, and I was just at a community meeting last night in the Turner Station community, and I expressed my belief that a person running for office, whether it be for county council or county executive, should not be appointed to this position. And I know there are differing opinions on that, but this is my belief, and I express that to my community. And, Vicki, I applaud your courage and your leadership on this and the decision that you've made by removing yourself from consideration. I mentioned these are extraordinary times for Baltimore County, and I think you can tell for those of you in the audience and those that may be watching live that it's with extremely heavy hearts that this council has right now, and these are somber times given the events of yesterday, and then of course the death of the county executive, and we are doing our best to keep this county to be the greatest place to live in this country. And I believe that we are an extraordinary place to live. And we're going through some tough times right now, and I appreciate my colleagues on the council who are working somewhat behind the scenes on just discussing on what the next step is for us. And I'm a proud member of this council, and I think that this county will be just fine moving forward given the extreme circumstances that we're faced with. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Crandall. Councilman Marks?
I also want to applaud Councilwoman Allman for the grace and strength she showed tonight. She's demonstrated that many times on this council, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have not just had an extraordinarily difficult month, we've had a very difficult year, and I would like to thank my colleagues for conducting this forum, which shows our interest in receiving public input in this important decision. With this input, I think the council needs to move efficiently, and we need to find someone who, as Councilman Quirk said, can bring bipartisan consensus to this position. Thank you all for coming, and thank you again, Councilwoman Allman.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will call Ms. Linda Dorsey Walker and Mr. John Reinhardt. You can come sit at the front. You'll be on the on-deck circle. Again, everyone, let's be respectful and respectful of everybody's time and keep it to 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and the members of the County Council. My name is Linda Dorsey Walker. I first want to give my condolences to Officer Caprio's family and also to the Kamenetz family. I've known Kevin Kamenetz since 1994 when you talked about fair and vigorous campaigns. I know something about that because I was his very first opponent in 1994. He prevailed, I did not. But I went on to serve 5 terms on the Democratic State Central Committee. And in doing so, I learned something about the process of replacing people during vacancies. And that's what I'm here to talk about tonight. That there needs to be a transparent process. One very similar to the one used by the central committees, where you have individuals that go through a structured interview process. Applications are taken, certain material is provided, and there is a complete vetting. As you are probably aware, I've already sent you some material in advance of this meeting. I will only go through saying this. I'm not going to go through everything that I sent you in advance. Oftentimes, governments find themselves in the midst of a scandal of the sort that has surrounded Baltimore County in recent years and Baltimore City. because they failed to ask candidates the right questions during the vetting process, or even to have a complete vetting process, which I think is necessary. It's the responsibility of governments to ask the right questions up front, not afterwards. Regardless of how sensitive those questions may be, it's important that candidates see the questions that they may be asked to address in the event that they may want to discreetly withdraw their names from consideration. I will not go through the question I submitted you because I sincerely think it is a very, very serious one that needs to be asked of every candidate under consideration. I will say this, if there is any amount of hesitation on the part of any candidate in addressing that question, it should be a deal breaker for that candidate. It's understandable that individuals are sometimes very flattered to be nominated for high-profile positions to the point where they can sometimes forget to protect their interests, their careers, their acquaintances, and the government they wish to serve. Nevertheless, it's in the public's best interest. That's what needs to be considered, not that individual, that those questions be asked up front to avoid any difficulties down the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. John Reinhardt, and the next person would be Gary Brewster. You can come sit right here.
Good evening, Council. My name is John Reinhardt. I'm the co-vice president of the Towson Communities Alliance, formerly the Greater Towson Council of Community Associations, or GTCCA. I would like to first thank the Baltimore County Council for seeking public input into the selection of an interim replacement for the Baltimore County Executive. Baltimore County has seen recent scandals with former school superintendent and the indictment of another government official. It's clear that the public is very leery of even the appearance of political inside dealing. Does the County Council really want to vote to fill the interim county executive with a sitting council person? Appointing a currently serving council person has the potential to affect both the current county executive and county council races. We feel the best course of action for the interim replacement of the county executive would be to appoint a current Kamenetz administration official, such as Don Moeller, Barry Williams, Sam Moxley, or Fred Holman. Both Mr. Moeller and Mr. Williams have had extensive experience interacting with the county's citizenry. An appointment of a qualified cabinet member of the Kamenetz administration also maintains continuity of the current administration's remaining 6-month term. In this manner, no current elections are affected nor would be perceived to be negatively affected by the interim appointment of a now serving council person to fill the vacancy. If the council feels that a currently serving council person must serve as interim county executive, then the vote to fill the interim position should be delayed and take place after the June 26th primary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reinhardt. Mr. Gary Brewster, and next will be Rick Drankowski. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, thank you for allowing the public this opportunity to address this important issue. Kevin was my friend for nearly 50 years. We were in 8th grade carpool together, and Jill and Kevin have been to my home many, many times. He'll be sorely missed by us all. I'd like to offer my thoughts regarding this succession process based on my lifelong friendship with Kevin, my having personally worked in the county executive's office for a previous county executive, right there in the mezzanine level, second office on the right, my having worked for many years as an assistant Baltimore County attorney right across the hall, and having held elective office myself. With that perspective, I'd like to ask for your consideration of what I think is the fairest path forward. As we all know, pursuant to the requirements of the Baltimore County Charter, Fred Homan is the acting county executive, with 5 weeks remaining, and there's 5 weeks remaining till the June 26th primary. As the charter states, a majority of the Baltimore County Council needs to appoint a Democrat to replace Kevin. I think the only fair thing to do is to hold off on appointing a successor until the June 26th Democratic primary. That way, the scales won't be tipped in favor of any one candidate. And the citizens of Baltimore County, through the democratic process, will be able to decide who the Democratic nominee should be themselves. Yes, others have been mentioned, and many of them are very appealing candidates. But they haven't been vetted, they haven't been through the process, like those that have chosen to enter the combat of this race to be county executive. Therefore, I most respectfully request your consideration of waiting until the June 26 results are decided so that the citizens of Baltimore County can indicate who that Democratic nominee should be, and that would be the person that gets the appointment. When the charter of Baltimore County was approved by the voters, they didn't say just have an interim county executive that would fill out the remainder of the term. They said, and that could be the 5 months or a year or 3 years, they said, okay, the administrative officer will be an interim, but then they said the county council needs to pick somebody of that party, no matter if it's a Democrat or Republican, of the same party. So therefore, again, in conclusion, I think the fairest thing to wait and see what happens on June 26th. Let the Democratic citizens of Baltimore County decide who that person would be. And I greatly appreciate your time and your consideration, and thank you for your thoughtful comments earlier.
Thank you, Mr. Brewster. Mr. Rick Drinson? It's a P? Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was a D. Prinsinski.
What do you think that nationality is?
Polish. I have no idea. Mr. Kathy Forbes? Okay.
In Dundalk, we know how to pronounce that.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. I
First
can't
of all,
get past Jones.
I'll be very quick because the comments I had have already been expressed by Mr. Reinhold and Mr. Brewster. I'm a citizen. I am not politically oriented. I'm a registered Republican for whatever that matters. But I was very concerned about having someone that was running for Baltimore County Executive be appointed as an interim. I mean, that's just totally unfair. And I guess my only question as a citizen, why would you ever even consider that? I mean, that's not fair. And that would have given, and Vicki, I admire for what you did to step out, but I just think that would just be grossly unfair. So since you've heard all the other comments that I was going to express, I have nothing more to say except one thing. I really would like to thank the Baltimore County Police. As being a citizen of this state, I feel so confident that we have such a great police force. And I have no axe to grind except thank them for being on the job. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Dana Bergman on the on-deck circle. Go ahead, Ms. Forbes.
Council Chair Jones, members of the council, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Kathy Forbes, and I'm a 20-year resident of Baltimore County. And for more than 10 of those years, I've been an education advocate working on behalf of students and teachers in our schools. In that work, I had the opportunity to work with Kevin Kamenetz many times, first as a councilman and later as a county executive. He was a great partner, and with the support of this body, he was tireless in his efforts to build our schools and renovate them. He will certainly be missed. The county charter has given you a great responsibility to pick an interim executive. It's such an important choice. Who you appoint can do a lot of good in the next 7 months. They can keep important initiatives on track and lead our country forward at a time, lead our county forward at a time we can't afford to tread water. We need more than a caretaker. We need someone who has demonstrated that they truly care. While there have been a number of good people mentioned as possibilities, the person who best fits the bill to me is Don Moeller. I've gotten to know Don over the years as I worked with both Jim Smith and Kevin Kamenetz. Don has a tremendous grasp of issues affecting county residents today. He has helped 2 executives tackle those issues head-on, and not once did I feel like he was putting his own agenda ahead of the county's. Don's not running for anything. On top of that, he's a good guy and a person who enjoys widespread support of members of both parties. Thank you for your consideration, and thank you for holding this forum tonight.
Thank you. Ms. Dana Berkman, and next will be Brad Croner.
Sorry. I want to start off by saying thank you. I wish I was thanking you guys for your efforts to make attempts to show transparency and an improvement in communication with our county citizens in Baltimore County. I wish that it was under different circumstances, but I do acknowledge that you guys are making that effort, and I applaud you guys for doing so. As a county resident, I'm not a native from Baltimore County, but it's grown on me over the past 8 years, and I have advocated and showed a lot of pride for my community in Lansdowne. And we had a very rough year. So, a very rough year for everybody involved, and we have suffered the past 2 weeks some tremendous loss in Baltimore County. And the interim superintendent, county executive should be somebody that's neutral, that's not going to make any waves. Someone that is qualified, that's going to allow our county to come together during this difficult time and make it until the end of the election. Someone that's not going to cause a lot of controversy, knows exactly what's going on, and that's going to be respectful to everybody involved, because I think we need time to heal. I want to say that I've heard the name Don Moeller, very respectful, very kind individual as a person. I've gotten a chance to meet him several times. I also think that this shouldn't be made into a really, really big deal, because we have business that we have to do to move forward together. And we have 6 months to move forward and not to change anything dramatically in a way that's going to hurt education or our public service or our families. So thank you for this time, and I hope you guys really consider that we need some peace and some time to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Croner and Susan Radke.
Good evening, Council. I'm Brad Croner from Middle River. First, I want to say thanks for having me. Thanks for having us. It's important that this process is open and transparent. I'm glad the Council reversed its original position and decided on seeking public input. As I understand it, the Council can appoint an interim executive at any standard meeting so long as a motion is made. I believe the next meeting is 10 a.m. on Thursday. Work sessions are usually at 2 p.m. Seeing as most of us are at work at these times, I think it might be appropriate to hold the vote at a legislative session so that voters could attend and watch the vote. As for selecting an interim county executive, I think the choice should be someone with experience in the county's executive branch, someone who can hold a steady hand, someone with a prominent position in the current administration, perhaps Don Moeller, who is incredibly well respected and served as Kevin Kamenetz's chief of staff. Past executive would also serve well in a caretaker role. I would respectfully ask that the council not select someone who is a candidate for any office. Appointing a candidate for any office at this point would cause undue influence on the election cycle, which should play out naturally with the June primary just a month away. There are plenty of choices, past county executives and current administration officials who would serve well in an interim capacity. Thus, I see no reason to influence an election when viable alternatives exist. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Radke and Dennis King.
Good evening. I'd first like to express my condolences to all of you because you have worked so closely with Kevin Kamenetz, and I know this must be very, very difficult for you at this point in time. And I also want to thank you for the opportunity to open this forum up for the citizens of Baltimore County to express our wishes. I know that all of the council members are current candidates, and for any of these members to be the interim Baltimore County executive would really set an unfair precedent for other candidates who are up for election. I also know that it's really important to really consider Kevin Kamenetz's his vision for Baltimore County and to continue that vision until we have a new Baltimore County executive. And I would recommend, as others have previously done before me, recommend Don Moeller for that position. He would be best able to continue the vision of Kevin Kamenetz. And I thank you for allowing me to share my opinion.
Thank you. Mr. King. And after Mr. King, Mark Lee.
Good evening, Chairman Jones, members of the council. Thank you for having us this evening. You have a very difficult and unenviable task, and I wish you all the best in doing it.
Thank you.
There are three qualities, I think, that are essential to the next interim county executive. First and foremost is leadership skill. And I am pleased to say that you have any number of people in Baltimore County who fit that bill, from department heads, members of County Executive Kamenetz's staff, past county executives. You have any number of qualified individuals from whom you can choose. And I'm not going to give you a name because I think that's inappropriate at this time. The second quality, and these are in increasing order of importance, is both the ability and the willingness to engage the community. We need somebody who's willing to not just sit here in the middle of beautiful downtown Towson and wait for others, but we need somebody to go out there to Lansdowne, to Dundalk, to Parkville, to Owings Mills, and all parts of the county, talk to the citizens, listen to what they have to say, and proceed accordingly. There is a lot to be done here, and only someone who is willing to listen and pursue what's best for everyone is the right candidate. Third and finally, I would say no candidate for any office in Baltimore County should be considered. First of all, I'm not as much concerned about the unfair advantage as I am this. There's too much work to be done. And someone who's trying to run a campaign cannot learn the ropes of being a interim county executive and campaign at the same time. So I would respectfully suggest that you not pick anyone who's a candidate, and kudos to you, Councilwoman Allman, for declining the job. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, and next is Peggy King.
Thank you for allowing me to speak again. My name is Mark Lee. I am a Baltimore County West Towson resident. I speak for many in the community when I state that I am absolutely emphatic that the person appointed as the interim county executive should not be anyone who is running for any permanent position. Anyone on the council, any candidate for any position considering themselves for this role should be prepared for an unprecedented wave of outrage and protests. The person appointed should have a track record of high leadership skills and the ability to fairly balance business needs with the community. Someone who is an effective listener. I have concerns about Fred Homan. Although he seems to be a superficially easy candidate since he was Kevin Kamenitz's number 2, the county should take a close look at his dealings with the Shawan Road Agricultural Center, as well as the illegal removal of the 30 specimen trees that have often spoken here at Towson Station, to name but 2 issues that point to less than above board dealings. The last time I testified in front of you, I was called a Jim Brochin propaganda artist. I have not officially backed any candidate, and regardless if Jim or any other candidate were striving for the interim position, I would have a real problem, period. That is called objectivity. Can any of you state with good conscience that you are objective in this matter? I think some of you can. If, as elected officials, you're truly committed to doing what is best for the people as well as the county, we should have no differences whatsoever, because that is exactly what I want. If you have a problem with what I am saying, then I submit to you that you have lost the real reason why you are in this position. I want transparency, and I am sick of these backroom dealings. I will continue to speak truth to your power. And I do hope that this public input, which we all appreciate very much, is not simply some charade for somebody who has already been appointed. A special thank you to you, Councilwoman Almond, for your decision to retract your name. Thank you. Lastly, a special thanks to Councilman Wade Catch for his continued questioning of what is occurring in this county. That behavior needs to be recognized and reinforced. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Next is Peggy King, and then on deck is Greg Morgan.
Thank you, Chairman Jones.
Sure.
Much of what has been said tonight, I was going to say. So really, I just came up here to thank Ms. Almond for doing the right thing. I think a lot of people here kind of got word of what was going on behind the scenes, and I think Councilman Almond has done the right thing, and we would ask that the council do the right thing as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. King. Mr. Morgan. And next is Yara Chalky. Shake.
Good evening, Chairman Jones, members of the council, and everyone here today. And I first would also like to extend my condolences to County Executive Kevin Kamenitz's family, all his friends, and I got to know Kevin over the years, and he was always very kind to me, and I'm sorry for the loss of his family. As well, thoughts and prayers of the family of Officer Caprio, as many have stated earlier. I've worked with the FOP and many officers in the past, and I'm a big supporter of Baltimore County Police. In the interest of full disclosure, I am a supporter of Councilwoman Almond's pursuit of the county executive office, and her leadership tonight has reinforced my decision to support her, because I, like many, weren't sure whether or not that was going to be the right thing, the coronation. I'm here this evening to support one person for the interim position, a name mentioned a couple times, but I probably have known Don Moeller more than anybody in this room, because my sister married his cousin 52 years ago at DIFMA when I was 4. Now, as well, we don't always agree politically. In fact, when I ran for the county council, Democratic primary in 2010, Don Moeller didn't support me. My sister married a Republican, and I'm a Democrat. It was a little confusing. But anyway, she married a Republican cousin. But Don Moeller showed leadership in Baltimore County, not through the years with just with the county executive prior to that, Jim Smith. Don Moeller started in Baltimore County as a teacher many years ago, a counselor, a principal, an educator, and an administrator. And this county, and more importantly, the team of the county executive's office, I had the opportunity to sit next to someone in Kevin's staff at a Towson Chamber meeting last week, and everyone's in shock of their loss. And we just need stability right now. And no, I cannot think of anybody that can offer that stability right now and that leadership than Don Moeller. And quite honestly, you know, when I watched some of the news yesterday, Chairman Jones, thanks for representing the council, but noticeably absent was representation of the county executive's office at the loss of the police officer. And we need that, and we need it now. And we need it not to be political. Don Moeller's not running for anything, and I just think he's the best candidate, hands down. And I'd love to see this council vote for Don Moeller to 7-0 vote. Show your solidarity. I know there's Republicans, I know there's Democrats, but do what's best for Baltimore County citizens and for the employees of Baltimore County, for the team in the county executive's office. And I have 15 seconds. Tom probably told Chairman Jones he was going to need the gavel for this guy. But anyway, thank you for the time. I appreciate it, and please do what's best for Baltimore County. Thank you.
Thank you. Just a point of clarification. Fred Holman was there for many, many hours, so was several other council members, including myself. Thank you. Yara, and then after that, Bill Braylove.
Thank you, Councilman Jones, for having this forum and opportunity for all of us to speak. I would just say that students are in safer, more modern learning environments all over our county because of the work of county executive candidates. And if you had told me 12 years ago I'd be coming here telling you that Don Moeller should be the next county executive, to say I'm surprised is an understatement. But what County Executive Kevin Kamenetz did in his terms, 2 terms, were to support IT partnerships that brought Baltimore County into the 21st century. He supported public and private partnerships that aren't completely tied up with a neat little bow yet. He worked on bipartisan coordination for issues, especially schools. All of us have seen rewards throughout the county in terms of new facilities and renovated facilities. Mr. Moeller, Don, is someone you've worked with, but more importantly, he knew what the county executive was working on. He was close to County Executive Kevin Kamenetz, and he can follow through on the various projects that are going on throughout the county in each of your districts. Don's worked for 2 administrations, 2 very different administrations, and has offered the stability across those administrations. On top of that, his relationship and love of the school system is evident. And I would just close with County Executive Kamenetz's words from his 2016 budget address. That is the Baltimore County I love, and it is the Baltimore County we devote ourselves to serving every day. As stewards of this great county, we strive to honor our rich history and tradition while at the same time keeping an eye on the future. And as a result, I am proud to report that the state of our county is strong. And I think Don Moeller would say those words and believe in those words and follow through with what the county executive would have done in the next 6 months. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Yara. Mr. Bill Braylove and Ruth Getz.
Good evening, Council Chairman Jones. Thank you for this opportunity. To Ms. Alman, thank you for making the right decision. I think it goes a long way. And along with getting on what many other people have said, is that anybody running for office now has already really made their decision. You know, to change in courses in midstream and decide I want to go for a bigger office for just 7 months would be ridiculous to do, just to obtain a title. We need stability in the county. We don't need a Yahoo. We don't need a maverick coming out of anywhere. We need somebody with a level head and level decisions. As far as former county executives that have volunteered to get back into the run. I can't help but thinking this weekend, the movies Ocean 11, 12, 13. Let's get the old gang back together and just do one more thing to the citizens here. I'm hoping we don't go that way, and that we do give consideration to what you, the council, and what Kevin Kamenetz was trying to do is change the course of the county. Instead of business as usual, and let's just keep in the same old thing, we've seen improvements with each county executive. As far as putting this selection process off, strikes me as really ridiculous. Why not put the election off? For all my life, primaries were held in September. Somebody moved them to June, and all of a sudden it creates a conflict. Boy, who would have figured? But the county charter doesn't have a little asterisk to say, let's put it off because this falls on a Friday and I wanted to have a 3-day weekend, so we'll do this vote next week or next month, or put it off again till later in the summer when the kids are back from school. No, we need leadership at this point. This is Baltimore County. We're all proud of Baltimore County. I'm a lifelong resident of Baltimore County, the school system and everything else, and we need to be the best county out there, not just let's put somebody in who's going to not do anything or just let things slide. Things are in motion. The budget is already set. The course of action is there. We just need somebody to enact it and to act as the figurehead of Baltimore County for the next 7 months. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Braylove. Ruth Getz. And on deck would be Don O'Gorman. Thank you, sir. Next would be Ebony Copeland. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I also want to express my condolences to the Caprio family and the Kamenetz family. And Councilman Almond is my representative, and I also want to thank her for recusing herself. I want to thank the chairman for giving everybody the opportunity to speak tonight. And the type of person that I would like to represent us as our county executive would be somebody who supports citizens and not developers, and who's not, owes developers and these other people, and also someone who really truly supports police and not criminals in our county. And that's all I have to say right now. Thank you.
Thank you. And just as a point of clarification, it was not me that did the hearing. We collectively came to a decision that we all thought that this was a good idea. Thank you so much. Next, Ms. Copeland.
Well, good evening, everyone. I just want to first thank the team, Baltimore County team, for coming together in unity. I've been a Arts and Science Commissioner for 7 years under the Kevin Kamenetz team, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to serve to bring unity, not just in the county, but also in the city, going to different organizations and functions and events to see how the city really funds Baltimore City. I attended the service, and it was just phenomenal to see the people come together in such a sad occasion, but it really brought unity, I believe, to Baltimore City. And I just want to say a few things tonight. Some things people already spoke about, so I'm just kind of echoing and just really bringing unity in the community. I would like to consider someone in the Kamenetz team that has a very strong background in community service and just being passionate about everyone's background respectfully. As a team, we work together. As we go through the process, we have ups and downs in our lives, but knowing that Baltimore County is a strong team. So how can we continue on the vision of Kevin and Kamenetz? Don Moeller, who would be the torch, who would carry the torch, I believe, as the community supports and Kamenetz team continues to support the next 7 months and bringing out what unity really is, as we have, are still in mourning of some of the losses that we experienced through Baltimore County. I would like to challenge all of you this evening to step up to the plate and to bring unity, and using your thoughts and ideas for the last 7 months to share with the Kevin Cabinets team, and bringing whatever your thoughts are to continue on with this 7-month journey. Someone that understands the regulations and policies in the community, and being honest and transparent is so important, because I think when we're honest and transparent, we heal. When we're honest and transparent, we bring unity, and we know unity draws strength. So I just want to encourage everyone tonight to just go home and think about what the word unity really, really means, and how we can drive this community to the next level as we consider Don Moeller to continue to carry the torch. I'd just like to thank everyone and let me have an opportunity to serve in Baltimore County. God bless you all.
Thank you. That was the last speaker. However, Councilman Katz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Indeed, the last several weeks have been very sad for all of us. When I heard of the county executive's death, of course, the first thing that I thought of was Jill, Carson, and Dylan. I know for a fact that Kevin was an excellent father and husband. There's no doubt about that. Then I thought, well, what is Kevin's legacy? And of course, it's our schools. He took a school system where the buildings were deteriorating, needing replacement, and he went on an ambitious program to replace schools, air condition them, renovate them, etc. Then I thought that of the fact that, I don't know if you all know this, but Kevin was a fan of cats, and he would share videos of his, I still have them on my cell phone, of his cats, and I would show him pictures of our cats. So, I wanted to let you know of the personal side of Kevin. If anybody wants to see any of his cat movies, I will show you the cat movies. And then we had the death of Officer Caprio, and very, very tragic, very sad. But we did see a county again coming together, just like we came together when our county executive passed. I want to thank my council colleague, Councilman Allman, who made the right decision, a decision that she made because it's in the best interest of our county. I also want to thank everyone here who came this evening to share your views on the qualities that you would like to see in the county executive that will be in office, 6 months, whatever it is. And as usual, listening to the public, I always hear things I didn't think of. And, as long as I've been in politics, this does not surprise me, because people have great ideas, and I appreciate the fact that you came here this evening to express your ideas. We heard about making sure that we vet any candidates well. We talk about, there was suggestion that we would like to have, that people would like to have a county executive that's going to listen to them. somebody who's above reproach, someone with leadership skills. I thought it was a little strange. One person said we need a caretaker, and the next one said we need somebody who's active and moving forward. I think you can really have both, but that I thought that was good. And of course, the prevailing position was that anyone who's a candidate for office should not be selected by the council. I mean, that was made loud and clear by everyone in here. And then there was a suggestion that we hold off electing anyone county executive until after the primaries on June the 26th. I do want to end this by commenting on Don Moeller. His name came up many times tonight. And I don't know if many of you know, but I was an auditor in the Baltimore County school system. He was principal of Catonsville High School. My colleague and I went in to do an audit. You walk in, it's always a surprise. They put us in the basement to do the audit. But I really do have some bad news for you. The books of Catonsville High School were off by 28 cents. And, you know, I mean, this is, but anyhow, I've known Don for a long time. And because I was a teacher in the Baltimore County school system, and I know that he is a strong advocate for education. And, you know, I'm not giving my view one way or the other on his appointment, but I did want to share with you some of the experiences that I had with him when he was in our school system. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman Ketch. Again, I guess like to thank everyone for coming this evening. We certainly appreciate everyone taking the time to come out. And this is a decision that we will deliberate on and come to the very best decision that we can. And just as a reminder to everyone that this was not a straw poll. So it's not like everybody says one name and that's it. But I guess wanted to put that out there, that we would take everything into consideration. Anything else from any of the members? All right, thank you for coming out, and may you all have a wonderful evening.
Horrible. So.